So let's start with an option equals 100 shares. Well, in order to understand what that means, we need to know what a share is. So you've probably heard the term stock, maybe you've heard shares. Really what that means is we're actually buying a piece of the company. So to put it in easy terms, if a company only had 100 shares of stock and we bought one share of that company, we would literally own 1% of that company. One share out of 100, we'd own 1%. In the case of options, they are actually something called a leverage product. So one option actually equals 100 shares of stock. Again, just definitions, don't worry about understanding. And finally, there's certain terminology we use when we're talking about buying stock. You might hear buying stock, you might hear something buying shares. They're synonymous. Generally what we say is we're buying 100 shares of stock. So let's get back to this one option equals 100 shares. What does that actually mean? So let's look at this. I'm using up here Priceline as our stock, and you'll see why in a second. And here's the last price that Priceline traded at, $1,174.17. So in this case, if we were going to buy one share of Priceline stock, this is what it would cost us. We're buying one share of Priceline stock, and you can see over here, it'll cost us $1,174.17. That's a lot of money for one share of stock, understandably. Okay, so remember though, an option equals 100 shares of stock. So in the case of Priceline, what it actually looks like is this. Because an option equals 100 shares of stock, this is kind of what we're talking about. One option actually controls this much Priceline stock. I know, it's a lot of money. One option actually controls 100 shares of Priceline stocks. In the case of Priceline, if you bought or sold an option, you'd be controlling $117,000 roughly of Priceline stock. That's all that means. One option, when I say one option equals 100 shares of stock, you just need to know that you're controlling 100 shares of that stock with one option. And in the case of Priceline, I chose a big stock with a big price just to really accentuate this point.